Hey there, how's it going? It's another beautiful day here today. A little bit overcast, but we are here to do the Course in Miracles lessons. The lesson for today is lesson 133. So let's get right on it. I will not value what is valueless. Let me repeat that. I will not value what is valueless. Sometimes in teaching there is a benefit, particularly after you have gone through what seems theoretically and far from what the student has already learned, to bring him back to practical concerns. This we will do today. We will not speak of lofty, world-encompassing ideas, but dwell instead on benefits to you. You do not ask too much of life, but far too little. When you let your mind be drawn to boldly concerns, to things you buy, to eminence as valued by the world, you ask for sorrow, not for happiness. This course does not attempt to take from you the little that you have. It does not try to substitute utopian ideas for satisfactions which the world contains. There are no satisfactions in the world. Today we list the real criteria for which to test all things you think you want. Unless they meet these sound requirements, they are not worth your desiring at all, for they can but replace what offers more. The laws that govern choice you cannot make, no more than you can make alternatives from which to choose. The choosing you can do, indeed you must, but it is wise to learn the laws you set in motion when you choose and what alternatives you choose between. We have already stressed there are but two, however many there appear to be. The range is set, and this we cannot change. It would be most ungenerous to you to let alternatives be limitless and thus delay your final choice until you have considered all of them in time, and not be brought so clearly to the place where there is but one choice that must be made. Another kindly and related law is that there is no compromise in what you choose, in what your choice must bring. It cannot give you just a little, for there is no in-between. Each choice you make brings everything to you or nothing. Therefore, if you learn the tests by which you can distinguish everything from nothing, you will make the better choice. First, if you choose a thing that will not last forever, what you choose is valueless. A temporary value is without all value. Time can never take away a value that is real. What fades and dies was never there, and makes no offering to him who chooses it. He is deceived by nothing in a form he thinks he likes. Next, if you choose a thing away from someone else, you have nothing left. This is because when you deny his right to everything, you have denied your own. You therefore will not recognize the things you really have, denying they are there. Who seeks to take away has been deceived by the illusion loss can offer again. Who seeks to take away has been deceived by the illusion loss can offer gain. Yet loss must offer loss and nothing more. Your next consideration is one on which the others rests. Why is the choice you make of value to you? What attracts your mind to it? What purpose does it serve? Here is the easiest of all to be deceived. For what the ego wants, it fails to recognize. It does not even tell the truth as it perceives it, for it needs to keep the halo which it uses to protect its goals from tarnish and from rust, that you may see how innocent it is. Yet it is camouflage, a thin veneer, which could deceive but those who are content to be deceived. Its goals are obvious to anyone who cares to look for them. Here is the deception doubled, for the one who is deceived will not perceive that he has merely failed to gain. He will believe that he has served the ego's hidden goals. Yet though he tries to keep its halo clear within his vision, still must he perceive its tarnished edges and its rusted core. His ineffectual mistakes appear as sins to him because he looks upon the tarnish as his own. the rust a sign of deep unworthiness within himself. He who still preserves the ego's goals and serve them as his own makes no mistakes according to the dictates of his guide. This guidance teaches its error to believe that sins are but mistakes. For who would suffer for his sins if this were so? And so we come to the criterion for choice that is the hardest to believe, because its obviousness is overlaid with many levels of obscurity. If you feel any guilt about your choice, you have allowed the ego's goals to come between the real alternatives. And thus, you do not realize there are but two, and the alternatives you think you choose seems fearful and too dangerous to be the nothingness it actually is. All things are valuable or valueless, worthy or not of being sought at all, entirely desirable or not worth the slightest effort to obtain. Choosing is easy just because of this. Complexity is nothing but a screen of smoke, which hides the very simple fact that no decision can be difficult. What is the gain to you in learning this? It is far more than merely letting you make choices easily and without pain. Heaven itself is reached with empty hands and open minds, which come with nothing to find everything and claim it as their own. We will attempt to reach this state today, with self-deception laid aside, and with an honest willingness to value but the truly valuable and the real. Our 2 extended practice periods of 15 minutes each begin with this: I will not value what is valueless, and only what has value do I seek, for only that do I desire to find. And then receive what awaits for everyone who reaches unencumbered to the gate of heaven, which swings open as he comes. Should you begin to let yourself collect some needless burdens, or believe you see some difficult decisions facing you, be quick to answer with the simple thought: I will not value what is valueless, for what is valuable belongs to me. Okay, so we are talking today about what we should and should not value, what is important and what is not important. And as we can notice by what the Course has been telling us over the past few lessons, is that things that do not last, things that are not forever and eternal, don't hold any value, because in reality they are just but temporary. They will not last forever. They will go away, and you will be left with is the sadness and the sorrow of the loss. So if there's loss, then it's not real, because you cannot lose when you are as God created you. There's nothing you can lose if you are as God created you. If you focus on things that are temporary and on things that will not last, then you're just doing the opposite. You're just focusing on the illusion, and you're not allowing yourself to see the truth that is there right in front of you. And it's an easy choice, and that's what the Course is trying to say today, that the choice is very easy. It's between the valuable and the valueless, and that's basically it. And there's very little to determine the two. Lasting forever doesn't last forever. Ends never ends. These things are simple choices, but it's us who decide to muddle all of those choices by making them more complicated, by making them seem difficult for us to choose from, but in reality they're not. The truth is that we have everything that we need. It's there for us to take. It's there for us to accept. It's there for us to remember. And we choose not to. Why do we do that? I mean, I ask myself that every day. Why do I not choose the eternal, the truth, the happiness, the joy? Why do I focus on the sadness, the emptiness, and the sorrow? What is that? Why do we do that to ourselves? And that's because we have an ego. We have an ego that talks to us and that we choose to listen to. And what we have to do is, through using the Course, help ourselves refocus, re find a different way to think, find a different way to shift your perception of how you see things and how you interact with everything that's around you, and try to see the beauty and the love and the joy that really is there in front of you, and no longer see the valueless. You know, see the value in everything. See, when you come encounter an individual, you don't see them as the story that you've created for them or the story that they created for themselves. You see them as they truly are, which is that whole, complete, pure, wondrous, beautiful son and or daughter of God that is in front of you, teaching you their walk, their experience, their joy, however that is for them. Now, it might be different from yours, and that's where the conflict happens, but you have to ignore that. You got to see them for who they are and enjoy them for who they are, and be happy that you are coexisting with them in this wonderful experience that God put for us. And I know that sometimes that's more difficult and easier said than done, but that's why we practice. That's why we keep trying to shift our focus. That's why we keep doing the course and learn new ways to interact, new ways to think, new ways to make better choices in our words and in our actions. So that's what I'm getting from the course today, and let me know what you get. But the course today is telling us for 2 15-minute periods to focus on the valueless and the valuable, and knowing the difference between the two, and realizing that it's our choice and it's an easy choice. All right, so that was the lesson for today. I hope you are spending time with those you love, that you're being safe, and that you are enjoying the wonderful experience that God has given you. I will see you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.